And if I told you once, I ain't gonna tell you twice. Salute all my real ones. Yeah, your boy Rain in the building. RCP in the building. Look, man. So we got 11 glitches in the Matrix caught on camera. Before we get into that, like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Let's do it.
Do we live in the Matrix? Is all of
Yes.
reality some kind of computer simulation?
Yo, bro, if you don't feel like this is a simulation, like there's a lot of things that you gotta open your mind to, man. Open up your third eye. I'm saying you gotta get your energies and your vibrations correct, bro. There's a lot of things that's going on out here that if you keep your eyes closed, and I'm not talking about physically, I'm just talking about spiritually and just looking around to see what's going on, you're gonna miss a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say, man.
There's an awful lot of conspiracy theorists who would have you believe so. But are they absolute lunatics, or might they actually be onto something? Before seeing these clips, I would have told you that the world is real, and the people who insist reality is fake just need a nap and a snack. I don't know. Some of these clips may have converted me. These are 11 glitches in the Matrix caught on camera. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe with that. Number 11. Car vanishes. The theory of simulation reality is a hypothesis that states that life as we know it is not quite as it seems. The idea is that we all exist within a computer program, a fake reality, observed by other divine beings. The idea is one that has been kicked around in its present form for decades in all sorts of science fiction, ranging from comics to novels to films. But the idea stretches back even farther than that. The earliest known suggestion of similar theories goes way back to the 4th century, when Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi hypothesized that reality as we knew it could merely be the dream of a butterfly. There are many variations on this rough idea, and the Matrix is just one of those variations.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know that everything that we're living in, this life that you think is you think is your own, isn't just somebody else's dream? Think about that for a second.
Some state that all the world's a video game, watched by all-seeing aliens. Some state the simulation is a recreation of past events, being observed by our future descendants, like the series finale of Star Trek Enterprise. If that's the case, this program would surely have glitches, and in this clip, it looks like exactly that is happening. As you can see in this news footage, a high-speed car chase is underway. It's hair-raising stuff, high-stakes stuff. A criminal was desperate to race away from the police. His car is bolting down the highway at breakneck speeds. Will he get away? These are exciting scenes, but not exactly abnormal. It's what happens next that will have you doubting your entire concept of reality. Just in the nick of time, his car appears to mysteriously vanish in a puff of black smoke. It's as if
You can still see the figure of the car and it's about to disappear. I'm saying use your minds, bro. They want y'all thinking this way when the reality is that way. I'm saying, like, it's there for you. Everything's there for you. Just look at the information. Look it up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? See.
if Thanos clicked his fingers and the car and its driver turned into dust in an instant. It's any criminal's dream to be able to teleport away from the scene of the crime in a mere instant. But if the world truly is the Matrix, it seems much more likely one of the coders simply forgot to finish coding the car that day. If not, maybe Zhuangzhou's butterfly simply stopped dreaming about the car and moved on to other fantasies instead. In whatever version of simulation theory that may be true, something went wrong that day. Now it's time for the rare topic. We have all heard the phrase mob mentality. Sometimes people will do something just because everyone else is. Kind of like how people would join ration queues in wartime Britain, with no idea of what they were queuing for. This odd late-night CCTV seems to show an odd version of that sort of thought process, but affecting dogs. One dog, for no known reasons, randomly started attacking a car, without any provocation. Shortly after, a ton of dogs came out of nowhere, and all joined in. So, what's going on here? Is there a tasty treat hidden in the bumper? Possibly. While more logical theories put forward lean toward it just being some kind of strange dog mob mentality. Others have suggested it is a glitch in the Matrix. They have said that the dogs were attacking the car because there was a fault in the programming of our universe, and the dogs mistook the car for something else. Adding to this theory is that come the morning, the car had mysteriously vanished, almost as if the universe's programmers deleted the car upon realizing it was problematic. What do you think? As always, comment down below with the hashtag #RareTopic, and we will pin the comment that best explains what is being shown in this footage. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 10. Another car disappears, but it's not the only time a crack in the fabric of our supposed fake reality, whether it be a video game played by aliens or the fan fiction of a madman in another dimension, has resulted in a car mysteriously vanishing without a trace. Far from it. In fact, vanishing cars seems to be one of the more frequent glitches the ever-cracking Matrix chucks up. In this clip, a car is driving down a snowy road. It's pretty extreme weather, nice and Christmassy, but otherwise nothing out of the ordinary here. But these glitches seem to come when we least expect them. Slowly but surely the car appears to fade away. Slowly but surely it is consumed by the snowflakes and vanishes into thin air, gone without a trace. It's different to the previous glitch. This time, instead of vanishing in a millisecond, the car slowly phases out, almost as if each line of code is being erased one by one. But it's not just things disappearing that constitutes
That's video proof
as any
right
game
there,
developer
bro.
can tell you. You never know just how your code might go wrong that day. Sometimes glitches manifest in the form of things acting out of the ordinary. For example, this next clip. Number 9. Bouncing manhole cover. Have you ever lifted a manhole cover? Those things are heavier than emo poetry.
Nah, man. See, that's cap because I be lifting them manhole covers, throwing them like frisbees. I'm saying flipping them like coins. That's not true.
The mountain would struggle. You need to be able to bench a whole bunch to get one of these things to shift. So how on earth is this one bouncing around so madly, so freely, as if it's as light as a feather? In this bizarre footage, the manhole cover appears to be bouncing and dancing and freely leaping around like a toddler who's down 6 pints of sugar. There's an argument to be had that it's just pressurized air pushing against the manhole cover, making it bounce around. But that would have to be some seriously pressurized air to push something that heavy up and down. More pressure than a kid in the midst of their SATs. That's how much pressure we're talking. It's so lively, so free. It's almost as if the manhole cover has the mind of a puppy. Number 8. Helicopter with unmoving blades. We all know how a helicopter works. It's quite simple, really. The blades spin, carrying the chopper up and away. Now, imagine if you saw a helicopter where the blades weren't spinning, but it was...
Cyberpunk, anyone? No.
Still flying. Weird, right? Like someone running a marathon without taking a step. Well, that's exactly what seems to be happening in this clip. Sometimes a helicopter's blades can spin so fast that it's invisible to the naked eye. To our human vision, it looks like the blades are stationary. But even in those situations, there's visible blurring between the blades. But if you look closely, you can see no blurring. The blades are completely still. It looks like it's a low-budget animated movie and the animator forgot to animate the blades spinning. The helicopter rising up into the air, with no clear sign that the blades are moving, looks exactly like something you'd see in the beta build of an indie game. The assets are done, but the animation isn't complete yet. Number 7. Twins. Every piece of software has errors, especially one that's constantly running. It's only natural. Even machines get tired. That's why 3PO takes a nap in A New Hope. All computer programs have glitches. We've all played a video game only for an NPC to get his head stuck in a wall. If the reality we know is actually a Matrix-like simulation, wouldn't these glitches take all sorts of form? Some more subtle than the more outlandishly peculiar things we've explored in this video so far? Well, our next example fits that.
Yo, put down in the comment section if you ever had, seen, or experienced any type of glitch in the Matrix. Write that down in the comments.
That idea perfectly. We're going to treat you now and give you several examples for the price of one, because that's what the glitching Matrix has done. It's given us several copies of the same thing for the price of one. One of the most commonly reported glitches is something or someone being unexpectedly duplicated. As you can see in this photo, there appears to be 2 versions of the same guy on this bus. Now, before we dive headfirst into conspiracy theories, there's a lot of potential explanations. Or maybe they're just twins who decided to match hoodies for a laugh. It could even be our old friend Photoshop. Or maybe the Matrix is glitching. Maybe an NPC was accidentally replicated. If that is the case, it's not the only time it's happened. In this next photo, 2
Hold on. So let me ask you this though, right? If somebody else is the NPC, is that person a person, or are they just an NPC?
Couples who apparently don't know each other are wearing identical outfits. Did the Matrix accidentally use the same character mold twice? Did some of the code get duplicated in error? It certainly seems that way. because it happened again in this next photo. Not one, not two, but 3 versions of the same woman on this bus. Maybe the advanced being who's in charge of programming buses for the Matrix is lazier than his colleagues, because he seems to make this mistake a lot. But then again, glitches like this aren't just limited to people on buses. In this third photo, you can see an example of the Matrix copying and pasting the exact same bench right next to the original. Sure, maybe it was designed like this on purpose, but seriously, what Parks and Rec department would approve a bench where your only view is the back of the neck of another person? Either this is a serious glitch or Leslie Knope is about to get fired. Even the little trash can next to the bin is repeated. If we could zoom in close enough, we bet that every scratch is duplicated. Every
Alright, hold on.
If the Matrix is going to
I'm gonna call Cap because that bin on the right side is closer to that bench than the bin on the left. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. You know what I'm saying? And that bin looks shorter too.
To randomly copy and paste stuff, why can't it copy and paste all the money in my bank account? Why does it have to be something as useless as
What
a
was he
bench?
typing? The
Number
screen
6.
was black. Privacy
Daniel
screen.
Radcliffe's face. In the last few examples, we saw a couple things get repeated. Faces, benches, t-shirts. But when they were duplicated, they always appeared next to the original, like some kind of bad copy and paste job. This glitch takes that idea to the next level. This glitch sees something get repeated in truly unexpected places. And when we say something, what we mean is Harry Potter's face. In older video games, especially the PS1 and N64 era, you would encounter a lot of NPCs with the same face. Technology was limited, so developers would often use the same model over and over. In real life, that's a little bit similar to how two people who are not related can look so similar. Lots of us have met someone new and been like, whoa, isn't that my face? But none more so than Harry Potter actor Daniel Radcliffe. It seems the Matrix has glitched hard and used his face on different models countless times through history. As discussed on 2 separate chat shows, Jimmy Fallon in
I don't know if that's true because white people all look the same.
America and Graham Norton in the UK, Daniel Radcliffe keeps discovering photographs of people from the distant past who have the exact same face as him. Is the Matrix repeating the same face over and over in error? Does somebody else have your face? Will somebody in the future have your face? Did someone in the past have your face? What if it's not your face? What if you're the glitch? It doesn't bear thinking about it. And whilst Jimmy Fallon is up on screen, his laugh has to be a glitch, right? There's no way that's natural.
Number 5. Matching legs. And don't you worry, to keep things as in line with the original Matrix trilogy as possible, we're gonna make this second installment significantly worse than our first video. You can even expect an even worse third video about Matrix glitches in the future. For those of you who don't, here's a no, it is not quite as it seems. The idea is that we all exist. The idea is one that's been kicked around in its present homes, but the idea stretches back even further than that. The earliest known suggestion of similar theories goes way back to the 4th century when Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi hypothesized that was a video game watched by our future descendants, like stuff might repeat, or maybe things turn up in unexpected places, like a high-pitched scream in the middle of a YouTube video about Matrix glitches. Yeah, brace yourself, because that's coming before the video ends. Do these glitches possibly prove that we are truly in the Matrix? Quite possibly. So let's look at 5 examples, starting with an intriguing example of odd repetition. These 2 complete strangers stood next to each other utterly randomly, yet both seem to have the exact same legs. It's not just the color and design of the pants, though that certainly helps, but everything about their legs seems to sync up. If you were to only look at the bottom half of this photo, you'd probably think that there had just been a computer error and each half of the photo was identical, and yet the top half of each woman is individual. You know what it looks like? It looks a bit like when a couple of NPCs in a video game look a little too similar and it breaks you out of the experience. It's not impossible that 2 strangers would wear the same clothes like that. I'm wearing the same underpants as you right now. I know because I watched you get dressed, but it does seem unlikely. What do you think? Is this just the pants-based coincidence of the century, or have we got a very real case of a glitch in the Matrix here? Number 4.
And just
the
duplicated
man
onto the picture.
Here's a curious little treat for you. This CCTV camera in Henderson, Kentucky seems to have captured the moment a transparent man disappeared into thin air. Don't say we here at The Finest don't treat you to some weird stuff. The clip was originally posted to a YouTube channel called _FluffyQueen88 Carter, who claims that this mysterious character has been seen walking in the front yard a number of times. To be honest, with a history like that, she's probably happy he disappeared. In the footage, you can see a partly translucent person walking along the street in front of two vehicles. The fact that he's not fully formed and seems to be a little bit see-through is already very odd. Most people who saw this clip came to the conclusion that the guy was probably a ghost of some sort. But we feel that this is not a ghost. We feel that this is a regular man who's glitching out of existence. And why? Watching him as he walks, he has a very purposeful gait. He knows what he's doing. There's a sheepishness to most ghosts, a sense of discontent, but this is a man who knows what he's doing and is behaving as if everything is normal. That's why we think this is no ghost. This is why we think this is a man who has no idea he's about to make like my father and disappear. And disappear is what he does. He takes several steps before his translucency upgrades to transparency and he vanishes altogether. The clip was taken out in front of the home of local residents Pamela and Rick Carter. They claim to have seen the ghostly figure a number of times, stating it was marching like Caesar down the pavement. He was gone, and I can't explain it. Some viewers think the footage is nothing more than artifacts showing up in a malfunctioning home security system. Others, however, think that the footage, coupled with the witness's testimony, makes for a compelling argument that this street is indeed haunted. But we stand by our argument. This is a guy who was glitched out of the simulation, and that's terrifying. Who will vanish next? You? Me? If I vanish, who will fill in for the rest of this video? My Scottish cousin Conan? Number 3. Giant I can't do this. Giant goldfish. If there's one thing I know, it's that shortbread, urn brew, and scotch are amazing. But if there's two things I know, the second would be that goldfish are not supposed to be that big. Things that are bigger than they're supposed to be turn up on a regular basis. We once did a whole video about oddly large dogs, and basketball players are way too tall. Most people think nothing of it. They just think, oh, that snake is bigger than an average snake, and move on. But lots of people who believe in simulation theory think that things being the wrong shape and size is an example of the simulation glitching.
Who decides
the goldfish
what's
is a
the wrong
rather
shape
extreme
and
example.
size?
No goldfish should be that big. It's absolute lunacy. Yet here it is, existing. Sometimes things being the wrong size can be credited to trick photography. Check out this photo of a dog. The dog looks colossal, right? This dog should be hanging out with the likes of Goliath. Well, no. Comedy writer turned internet pest Graham Linehan wrote a scene in the classic sitcom Father Ted in which one of the characters was confused about the difference between something that was far away and something that was small. These cows are small, but the ones out there are far away. This dog is the reverse of that. This dog is really very close to the screen, whereas the humans are far away. It's clever trick photography. So you might think the goldfish is a similar scenario. It's an interesting theory, but not one that holds water. See, the guy in the photo is literally cradling the goldfish in his arms. So even if trick photography was at play, the human and goldfish are in scale with one another. Something has gone wrong in the Matrix. Either that fish is massive, or that man is tiny. Number 2, a literally uplifting speech. Now, I've heard of an uplifting speech. Hannah Gadsby's Netflix show Nanette is a remarkable tour de force. There are many excellent TED Talks, and if I may say so, the best man speech I recently gave at a friend's wedding only caused 17 people to walk out. All successful and powerful uses of the spoken word. Yet, I've never seen a speech quite as uplifting as this one, because this one is literally uplifting. And I use the word literally. In the middle of giving a speech, this woman seems to be hovering. The ground beneath her is all but vanished. She is curiously suspended in the air. Are her words really so powerful that they have raised her up? No, it seems far more likely that this is the simulation glitching out. Weird, right?
Nah,
Number
bro.
1,
I call
goats
cat.
up a tree.
That's just a shadow
Birds are
somewhere
supposed
else,
to be
bro.
in trees. Goats are supposed to be on the ground, maybe up a mountain. If maybe one goat climbed a tree, we could believe it was just one ambitious goat reaching for the stars. But the sheer numbers of goat up in this tree is mad. It's like they're growing out of the tree. There are 1,000,001 explanations for what could be happening here. For example, maybe the goats are playing a game of the floor is lava. But
or maybe
the
it's
way we see it,
Cyberpunk.
there's a much more reasonable explanation. The Matrix has glitched and has put goats somewhere they're not supposed to be. Like pineapple appearing on a pizza, or a high-pitched scream appearing in a YouTube list video. Did I convince any of you how to actually do it? Don't worry, I'm not gonna do it.
Some of these were cat, but some of them is something that you have to actually look into. Y'all already know. Catch you on the flip side. OCP salute.